Brooks Koepka joins us from Florida, fresh off winning the PGA Championship. Brooks, thanks for joining us. If I walked into your house, how long would it take before I knew what you did for a living?
Probably not too long, especially when you look at the counter, the kitchen counter, and it's got those 3 trophies on there.
Oh, wait, they're on the kitchen counter?
Yeah, it's we had them set up the other day, and it makes you really realize what I've done. It's pretty cool, man. It's hard to put into words.
Could you tweet out a picture of all 3 on the kitchen counter for us?
Yeah, I will. I
Okay.
will when we're done.
All right, that would be great. You won the PGA Championship because what?
I drove the ball really well that week. I felt like I was very confident with the driver, even though I cracked the driver the week before we got there and cracked the head and had to replace it. But I felt good. And then my putting, I felt like I made those key putts, those momentum putts to kind of really take it away, especially on 15 and 16 there at the end.
I talked to Nick Faldo on Monday, and I asked him about this driving distance, like how far is going to be too far. And he says he thinks maybe 1% more is about as far as a human can hit a golf ball. What do you think of that comment?
Yeah, I don't know. These younger guys, I've seen a couple of these guys coming out of college, and they're bombing it past me.
Wow.
So I don't know what's going to happen. These kids, man, they just hit it so far, and they're leaving me in the dust, which is hard to think of because I've been so long for the last few years, one of the longer hitters on tour, and these kids are hitting at 340, no problem. I think the kid Cameron Champ, we watched him drive it on the 7th hole, drive the green, and we were 60, 70 yards short.
Wait, you make it sound like you're an old man ready for the Champions Tour. You're 28, Brooks. These young kids.
I know.
Come on.
I'll tell you what, man, these kids out of college, man, they're good. They're ready to win right away, and it's impressive to see it. It's cool to watch. It's fun. Golf's going to be exciting for the next 20 years, man. It really is.
I was wondering about this because you being 28, the last time Tiger won 10 years ago, so you're 18, but all of these younger players, and I even said this to Justin Thomas, you guys don't know what those Tiger roars are really like. You've heard about them, but once you're on the course, you can tell when somebody has a great shot, and then you can tell when Tiger has a great shot. You're playing behind Tiger. Could you tell the difference between a regular roar and then something that Tiger did?
Oh, it's so obvious. It's so obvious. You get anybody else in the field makes a birdie, and you might hear like a little applause, and then if Tiger, once he even makes contact, you know what shot he's hitting. I mean, that's how loud people are when they're hitting. And then, when he stuffs it in there or makes a birdie putt, I mean, it feels like the whole crowd roars. And then when they're putting it up on the leaderboard, you can kind of hear another roar from 3 holes ahead. And then you hear another hole when they just change the leaderboard. I mean, just everyone's cheering for him, as they should, man. He's the reason I'm playing. He's the best to ever play the game. So, it was fun to compete with him.
How cool was that he waited for you to congratulate you?
Yeah, it was surreal. It really was. To hang around there on 18, I know he finished probably about 30 minutes before, but to hang around, I wasn't expecting it. It was probably the coolest gesture he could have done, and it was fun going toe-to-toe with him and Adam Scott, the 2 guys I looked up to my entire life, and to battle it out with them. I mean, if you'd have told me when I was 12 years old that would have happened, that would have been a dream come true.
You look like you could play football now. I know you didn't look like that when you first joined the tour, but did you play other sports growing up?
I did. I played a lot of baseball. I wasn't allowed to play football. I was too small. I wasn't big enough. And then basketball, I realized I was too short, and that wasn't really going to work out. And so I stuck with baseball and golf, and then kind of made the decision there to stick with golf. But I'm not that big. That's the thing, man. I'm about the size of maybe a cornerback, free safety. It's just the medium shirts.
Yeah, who designs these shirts here? Because it just feels like they're a little tighter than they need to be, Brooks.
Yeah, I know. We're working on it. Trying to fill them out. Now we've gotten to that point, so we might have to step into a bigger size here. But it's funny. I laugh. I saw Brian Urlacher did an interview the other day, and it was quite funny. And he said he was impressed at how big I wasn't. And that just shows you how big these guys are that play football. And you just have to laugh because I've stood next to him and I'm like, my God, this guy is massive. Neck, shoulders, traps. I mean, these guys are massive. And to be compared to them, it makes me laugh all the time that I'm like, stand next to those guys that play football and you realize how big they really are.
But that's the way it was when I first met Jack Nicklaus. He's the Golden Bear. And then I met him, and I'm 6'3", 200. I'm going, wait, he's the Golden Bear. He's supposed to be like this big guy, and he wasn't.
Yeah, it's crazy. I guess golf's kind of always had this reputation of having, smaller guys. Most guys are probably about 6 foot and maybe weigh 180 pounds. You look at, if I stand next to Justin Thomas, I'm going to look big.
Yes, we all do.
Yeah, yeah. So I mean, golf doesn't really have many big guys. So when I'm standing out there, as a normal sized guy, I look a little bit bigger. But you put me next to anybody, I've stood next to Steph Curry too on the range, and I mean, he's a big dude. I look tiny next to those guys, so it's always quite funny when you get around them.
He's Brooks Koepka, the PGA champ. What's your official height and weight?
I am just under 6'1", and then I'm weighing in at 208.
208, just under. You're desperate to get to 6'1", aren't you?
Yeah, I'm trying.
Yeah, it's really important.
Stretching every day, trying to get there.
Would you give up the PGA championship to be 6'2"?
No chance.
Okay, all right. If I had a bench off, everybody on tour, just bench, who wins?
Ooh. That's a good one. I don't know. I feel like I'd be right up there. I know that. I'm trying to think. Maybe Ernie back in his day. Ernie's a strong guy. Back in his day, man, I wouldn't mess with Ernie.
What about Rory? He can throw some iron.
Rory? Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I guess Rory. Yeah, Rory would probably be a tough competition. Yeah, it'd be interesting. It'd be fun though. I'd love to do it.
What's the worst job you had?
Televise that.
Oh no, I'd love that. Shirts off. You guys get in there and throw iron, and then I give. How about winner gets $100,000?
Oh, perfect. I'm in. I'm sold.
All right. Maybe I can get Tiger in there now that he's healthy.
Yeah. Hey, back in when he was younger, I'm sure he threw it around, and he's a big dude.
What's the worst job you had outside of golf, being a pro?
The worst job. My stepmom owned a pool safety fence company, so we were installing those in the middle of the heat in Florida in summer. It was a pain when you're 15, 16 years old, waking up at 6 o'clock in the morning. I mean, that wasn't fun anyways. And then to do that in the heat, that was terrible.
And then you can't jump in the pool?
Yeah, you're just being teased all day, and you're looking at these beautiful homes, and you're out there, and the pool is so nice, and you're just out there grinding away in the heat in summertime in Florida, and it can get quite hot.
I don't know, and I hope you appreciate where this is coming from, but do you want to be a star?
Yeah, I do. I feel like I'm not used to attention. I'm not used to it yet. I don't feel like maybe I'm not the most open person to really let everyone in. I feel like I'm very kind of reserved sometimes, and that's how people can kind of view it. And they view my no reaction to. I'm just so focused into what I'm doing. I've got that, I guess, game face, in the zone kind of attitude. And then, sometimes you wish people could see what goes on behind closed doors. They get like a snapshot of your life from when you finish. But, when I'm back there with my best friend who flew in, girlfriend, my mom, everyone, it's quite fun. It really is. But I want to be a star, and I feel like hopefully my game does the talking there.
Okay, but help me with this. Your mom was there off the 18th green when you walk off, and I don't know if you knew that she was going to be there. I think you even said, or she said, yeah, we flew in today. But your reaction was, hey, how are you? That sounds like somebody you just saw 15 minutes earlier, or you just came home from school. I would have lost it if I saw my mom there as I won the PGA, and you're like, hey, how are you? I'm like, okay, that's an interesting reaction.
Yeah. It's one of those things where, I had no idea she was there. And then all of a sudden I get surprised, and I mean, what are you supposed to say? I'm in this moment of, the happiest moment of my life, and then I look up and she's there, and sometimes you're just speechless. You don't know what to say. And my mom, I love her to death. She's one of my best friends. We're so close, and I had no idea that she was even going to be there. And sometimes you just don't know what to say, because she was crying. I'm like, what do you say? Like, I'm not the most emotional person, when people are crying and getting upset and so happy, and it's just kind of one of those awkward little things where you just got to laugh at it.
Now, she used to work in TV, didn't she?
Yeah, she did. She used to work for a TV channel down here, so she was a news anchor down here.
Wait, so you'd watch Mom on TV?
Yeah, and I get to watch her on TV when I was little, and the coolest part was she'd actually never seen me win a golf tournament.
That's the first time in person?
That's the first time in person she's got to see me win a golf tournament, other than when I was like 12 years old.
But Brooks, you just made it worse. That's a must-cry situation. Mom is there. She finally...
I actually teared up. But people don't know it. I kind of put my head down and kind of was like, all right, I don't even know what to do. I whispered some things in her ear. Probably the microphone couldn't even pick up. But it was really cool. It was really special.
What did you major in at Florida State?
Geography, believe it or not. So I actually got to experience that firsthand, traveling Europe and all that stuff, and studying all those places, and then traveling around the world and actually visiting them. That's
cool. Pretty cool. Hey, it was fun. And you know what? If you display this kind of personality to America, Brooks, you'll become that star when you couple what you do in majors. How about you win a regular event, Brooks, instead of just these majors? Can you mix it up a little bit?
I know. I'm trying to win these next couple of weeks. Hey, I'm shooting for number one. I'm trying for it. So hopefully these next few weeks will go pretty well.
Tweet out the picture of the majors. It'd be great to get that from your kitchen counter. And congrats again, Brooks. You're a good sport. We appreciate your time.
Yep. Thanks, Dan.
All right. Brooks Koepka. Okay. Total transparency here. I wasn't sure what I was going to get with Brooks Koepka. Now, we'd been trying for months. He had won a couple of majors. I thought after I picked him to win the U.S. Open and then he won, all right, maybe he would join us. So Fritzy kept trying. And then Fritzy goes, do you still want Brooks Koepka? And I went, I do, but I don't know if he's going to be good. He's going to be fun. And then all of a sudden, I'm halfway through the interview and I'm going, how could I ever think that he wasn't going to be fun? But it's based off of these other interviews that I do. But as he says, you kind of get locked in. I got my game face on. That's a fun kid.
For more Dan Patrick Show, tune to Audience Channel 239 on DirecTV or download the Dan Patrick Show app.